Here's the next update on the insulation on our third floor. I've got the ceiling line really coming close to being done at this point. In my last video, it was just the pink fiberglass insulation, the lower level of it through here, and then there was no the pink batt insulation up above yet. So just to kind of recap what's been done since the last video, I got another layer of the R21 fiberglass insulation in, and that's the top of it you can see there hanging up. I just temporarily have it held up out of the way with some plastic. When the ceiling insulation goes in, I'll talk about this more in a minute, but when it goes in, this R21 is going to get let down and it'll lay on top of the rigid foam on the ceiling, and that will be the first layer of fiberglass on the ceiling. I'll probably end up doing 2 layers. So like I said, I put in the remainder of the R21, then I came through and I put in another layer of this 2-inch rigid foam insulation, obviously with the foil facing side in this time. Got that in all the way down that edge. Actually, I've got it everywhere. I've got it over there on the side as well, and down here above the bathroom. And then I put in the next layer of strapping. So we did strapping in the opposite direction. So behind this layer, the strapping's running horizontal, and then obviously here we went vertical. Everything is 16 on center. We're going to use nice long screws when it comes time to put in the sheetrock. So it'll be really easy to just measure 16 on center, sink the screws in. It's going to catch either this layer on the vertical axis or the layer that's behind this on the other axis. So it'll be really easy to hang all of the sheetrock. Over here, I actually did it backwards because I don't know if you can tell in this video, but there are lots of seams everywhere. We used all the scraps left over from when we had to cut all the pieces for the other side. So these are lots of little pieces put together running vertically, and so it just made sense to hold it all in place with the strapping horizontal. So it'll be a little bit trickier to get the sheetrock in that area, but it won't be too bad. So the next thing, I decided instead to work on the ceiling. Just needed to get some materials out of the way before I started working on those end walls. So here's an example of what the ceiling is going to look like. These pieces are just cut and temporarily held in there. I need to take them back down again and pull some electrical through and get ready for the lighting, but it'll give you an idea of what it looks like. Obviously I had to cut these pieces so the edges had an angle, so they fit in there fairly well. Once I get them permanently screwed up in there, I'll take some spray foam and fill these gaps along the edges to seal that up nice and tight. But like I mentioned before, the plan is that these are put in, oh actually hang on, I should show you guys how I got this ceiling level. So very similar to how I did the flooring on the second floor, I put in 2x6 pieces onto the old collar ties, used a laser level, got a nice straight line, put those pieces in, so that's my new flat straight line ceiling, and then I just put my strapping on top of that. So you can see every single one of these collar ties has a new piece of 2x6 on the side of it, and then the strapping's attached to that new piece. So that's the easiest way to get a nice flat ceiling when you're trying to build off of something that's old and not level. So anyway, got the insulation cut on there, and then the R21 that, like I mentioned before, is just temporarily held up there out of the way. Once I get these pieces really close to being ready and going up there permanently, I'll take those strapping or plastic out of the way. Those pieces will fall down and it should fit pretty nicely, and that will become my first layer of the pink insulation on top. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to run another layer going this direction, running kind of east to west instead of north to south. So it'll be, I don't know what's the math, R54 or something like that on the ceiling. So it's pretty significant. I've got R40, whatever, 48 or something on the walls. So it's going to be really nice and tight, nice and warm up here. So that's the look. You know, obviously we're losing a little bit of space up there. It might have looked nice to do a vaulted ceiling in this room, but gives me plenty of space to get the insulation in that I want. The next challenge is going to be I need to figure out where I want to put my lights. I'm going to do the same recessed lighting up here that I did on the second floor, but on the second floor I didn't use rigid foam insulation, so I have to measure out exactly where those lights are going to go. I have to cut pretty good sized holes in the rigid foam for the lights to sit in, and then I need to frame up something to attach the lights to and then I need to put the insulation all back up and spray foam around the lights and so on and so forth. So I've got a lot of work to do now to get the electrical started, and I'm going to kind of pre-game a little bit. So I'll pull the wiring up. The wiring comes up right there from the basement. So I'll come up this wall, run all the way down. It's going to be a couple different circuits. The office, that area over there, is going to be one circuit. And then this room is going to be another one. So I need to pull multiple wires for the lights and the walls and all that stuff. So lots to do. But anyway, that's the recap of where we're at. I'm going to work on the ceiling a little bit more, and then it's on to the end walls. I need to get some lumber and some more insulation to work on the end wall framing and insulation and electrical and all that stuff. Alright, that's it for this update. Thanks for watching.